So, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit, real quick? Welcome to Killing the Void podcast. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We met on playing video games. Is it Darkfall we met on? I think
Yeah, we
so.
met on Darkfall.
Yeah,
Guess it's a couple of years ago already.
yeah. So I know you as Ripface, so calling you Sean's a little different.
Yeah.
Do you just want to tell everyone what you do, real quick? Even though we're not going to talk about it in this episode.
Yeah, sure. My name's Sean Scott. I'm an area director at a salon located in Houston, Texas, which basically just means I'm a manager of two locations.
Oh, two locations. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
just one. Wow.
No, we've got two.
Nice. So you guys gonna just keep expanding?
Yeah, we're hoping for a third one, so we'll see.
Nice. And is this just for men haircuts?
No, it's mostly for women, but we do have a small percentage of men that come in for men's haircuts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like over here, but we got a sports clips that I kind of go to sometimes, but they're
Yeah.
expensive.
S- Yeah, we have a higher price point, definitely at our salon. We're in a nicer part of Houston.
Yeah, well, you guys kind of have to, right? Because you pay your employees; they don't work on commission and all that.
Oh, they do actually work on commission.
Oh, wait, I got that backwards. So they don't make the money and they don't rent a chair, but they get a commission instead.
Right, they're 100% commission based.
Gotcha. Do
Hmm.
they get to keep all their tips and stuff, or is they
Oh yeah, they
share?
keep all their tips.
Oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
All right, so I wanted you on this episode a while back because I'm really interested in where you went on vacation.
Hmm.
So you went to Thailand? Is that where you went to?
Yeah, well, I've been to Thailand probably around 6 times. Been to Cambodia too.
6 times. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I was a frequent flyer. Hmm.
Is that since you met your girlfriend, or even before then?
Even before then, I guess was let's see, about 3 or 4 years ago was my first time I went. Then I kind of got the taste for it, and I kept going back.
Well, what made you want to go in the first place?
Well, honestly, it was just completely random. I just decided to go. Um, I don't know. I just heard about it growing up. I had a friend that's Thai. We always talked about going to Bangkok and just, you know, walking the streets, seeing what it's like. Then kind of burned in the back of my head I needed to go. So eventually, when I had the money, I decided to go.
Yeah, I think when I was a junior in high school, we had a foreign exchange student from Thailand, and she
Mm.
she she called me the Buddha because I had a rounded face with fat cheeks.
Yeah,
She's a little
I guess
rude.
she's referring to the Chinese Buddha. Yeah,
I don't even know what religion the Thai people do. Maybe I guess it's Buddhism.
it's Buddhism. Yeah.
Is it? She told us about how they like monkey brains and stuff. How it's a delicacy.
You know, I never experienced the monkey brains thing. I've only heard about it, but I forgot where I've seen it. Maybe a Faces of Death movie or something. But I never experienced monkey brains, but I definitely had my fair share of weird food.
And she said something too. She said a lot of Americans like bring gum with them, and it's illegal over there. Do you know anything about that?
I think that was more of like a Singapore thing.
Oh, it's just a city.
Yeah, Singapore because, and I'm not sure. I'm sure you can chew gum in some places, but I don't think you can spit it out.
Yeah, I think it was something about spitting it out. Maybe it had to do with the monkeys again. They're picking it up or something and eating it.
No, Singapore is just an extremely clean uh, place to go, so they're pretty
Oh,
serious about keeping it clean. Thailand, though, however, you can chew gum as much as you want.
like how big is Thailand compared to like Texas or California? I think Texas is probably better.
Oh man, you are making me do geography. Hold on.
Just how do you just in your mind like how big do you think? Is it twice
You
the
know what?
size of Texas or?
I don't think so. Let me see. You know, I had no problems traveling around Thailand. Um, it's pretty big though, so I did have to fly a couple places if you're traveling across country. But it seems to be, you know, it might even be a little same size as Texas or bigger. But don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure.
Well, I guess we could always look on a map, but I don't feel like doing that.
I literally just did, and it looks pretty big. Like, you know, I ended up sometimes I take a bus for about 10 hours to get
Oh, okay,
across the country.
yeah. I think from California is about 10 hours. Uh, oh no, we're about 20 hours actually. If you're gonna go from
So,
Mexico to Oregon,
yeah,
yeah,
California's huge. Texas definitely takes me about 8 hours to get across state.
yeah. I know like other little states like I've been to like Wyoming, everything's only like an hour to 2 hours away.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. Even in Houston, man, it's like 30-minute drive to get anywhere.
Yeah, and Oklahoma too. It's like, oh, you want to go to Texas? All right, it's like 40-minute drive. It's like what?
Hmm.
I like Oklahoma though because everybody's all laid back. They're a little slow though.
Have you been to Oklahoma?
Oh yeah, I almost moved out there after high school. I loved it. I loved all the brick homes. It reminded me of the Harry Potter movie, where the uncle lived, the
Yeah.
Dudsleys or whatever the names are.
Hmm. What have you ever been to Texas?
Just the north, just because Oklahoma's north of Texas,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the northern tip. I was actually going to work for, you know him as Tonto. We play games with him too. His name's
Hmm.
Brandon in real life, and they do a oil company, or no, they rent out oil drilling equipment to oil companies.
Oh yeah, big business.
Yeah, and they had a Oklahoma satellite area that he was going to send me
Hmm.
to, but then we had that big ass recession, and yeah, that didn't work so well.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, okay, so if someone's going to Thailand, what kind of shots do they have to get? Because you have to get shots, right?
I didn't do my research before, but I didn't need any shots.
Oh, really?
I ended up okay. I think that like if you come in contact with like certain farm animals and stuff, you have to tell customs when you come back, but I didn't have any problems.
Oh, wow. Well, let's get back to the food then. Because you said you tried a lot of weird stuff. What
Oh
kind
yeah.
of stuff did you try?
I mean, what didn't I try? I mean, the food there is insane. It's amazing. I loved it. That was like the main reason I wanted to go because I have the palate to like a lot of Asian food, and Houston's a pretty culturally diverse city, so I can, I've tried a lot of different things, but there's nothing like trying it at its own source. So
Oh, yeah.
when I went to Thailand, got exposed to a lot of different food. I guess the craziest ones I've had was the raw beef salad.
Oof.
I had a raw pork liver salad. I call it a salad. It's basically like a bunch of fresh ingredients chopped up with some lime juice and stuff like that. Uh,
Oh, so it's kind of cooked in acid then, right?
I'd say so. Cooked is, I wouldn't call it necessarily cooked, but yeah, it's
Or
kind of cooked.
cleansed, yeah.
Yeah. But the street food's amazing. I loved breakfast so much because you just kind of like walk out of your hotel room, go on the street, and they have a bunch of just meats being grilled, like skewers of meat, chicken, pork, sausage. Eat that, and they give you a little bag of rice. It's called sticky rice, but it's not the sweet kind that we're used to. It's just normal rice, but it sticks together pretty well, so you can just basically eat it with your hand.
Oh, like a rice ball or something.
Yeah, kind of. You can kind of just roll into a little ball, and you eat some of the meat and put.
So is it just like a steamed rice, or do they season it a little?
It's steamed, so it's they cook it differently. Where I've seen them use it like a bamboo thing. They'll put the rice in this bamboo container and let the steam cook it. So
I've
it's not.
seen that before, yeah. That's really
Um,
neat.
but it makes the rice firmer in texture. Well, the rice itself is a different kind of rice versus like jasmine. So, but I ended up liking it a lot. I don't know why. It was a texture thing for me.
Yeah.
But I literally ate it with absolutely everything.
So do they even have like normal breakfasts or like eggs and stuff or like
I mean,
like Americans?
yeah, they kind of cater to Westerners. They have the American style breakfast, but that's not really why I came there.
Yeah, yeah.
But like a lot of the breakfast food I had was congee too. It was just like rice porridge. Um, with
Rice.
sometimes I'll have different kind of meatballs and stuff like that in it.
I think I actually had that on a cruise once. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but like Chinese restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I was like, why is this next to the oatmeal? And she goes, well, just try it. It's really good. And so I was thinking it's going to be sweet. She even told me it was like a chicken, like the one they were serving me was like a chicken broth one.
Yeah, same exact thing.
And so like I tried it and it tasted like a chicken broth soup to me.
Yeah, it's weird, but you know what? You kind of get used to it. Just think of it like a rice dish.
Yeah.
And then like in Thailand, anywhere you go, there's like little mom and pop shops everywhere where you can kind of just stop by, and the food ends up being really good. I mean, for breakfast, that was my favorite thing, along with a couple of skewers of meat and some sticky rice.
I think that's one of the biggest issues right now with America is we're getting out of the mom and pop shop type stuff.
Hmm.
We're like even medium sized organizations like Applebee's and not Olive Garden because they're doing good, but like Applebee's is teetering on going out of business, and then there's other places, uh, and I don't know. A lot of small food chains are going out of business too. I don't. We just aren't doing very well with that. We just,
This in Cali?
yeah, in California,
See,
especially.
see, Houston, we're spoiled here, man. You know, like we're like the low key top food place in the country, man. I mean, I've been spoiled my whole life. Every time I go travel other places, I look for little tiny restaurants, that do really well, and it's hard for me to find one.
Yeah, hole in the walls.
Like Houston, we have a gigantic Chinatown, and I could just absolutely crush it over there because the food's pretty good. But even around me right now, like a burger joint, and it could be just a single place, and the food will be amazing.
Oh, good.
Mm.
I'm kind of lucky here where I live too in Stockton, California, because we have a lot of Mexicans, Asians, Filipinos.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
definitely.
pretty blended like your city. And I guess I'm lucky here, but if I leave this city and I go anywhere else,
Right.
the food quality starts to go to shit pretty quick.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, I get pretty spoiled too. A lot of barbecue. Uh,
Oh, yeah. I love barbecue.
hmm.
We had a bunch of Dickies out here for like a couple years, and since last year, like most of them shut down. Do you even know what Dickies is?
No, what's Dickies?
It's kind of like a, how do I explain this? Uh, it's kind of like a Subway but barbecue, I guess.
Is it Dickie's Barbecue Pit?
Yeah, yeah,
We have them here in Houston. I've never even heard of it. I just looked it up. Yeah, it
yeah.
looks good.
They started off really good, and then the price just like kept going up and up, and then the size of the portions kept going down and down,
Yeah.
and yeah, it just didn't work out so well for
Yeah,
me.
barbecue is pretty expensive nowadays. The cost of food has gone up considerably.
Oh hell yeah! Is this food pretty cheap in Thailand?
Oh, it's dirt cheap.
Like what
Like
what could you
let's say
get like a
like a
meal?
plate of food for me, and this is all relative because you can go to Bangkok and go to a nicer place and spend more. But generally, I paid about $1 to $3 for a plate of food.
What?
Yeah, again, I'm going to like street food vendors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
If I went to a restaurant, it'd be like $10, $20, depending on what I got.
What's their most expensive foods? Are they like fruits or?
The fruit's relatively cheap there. What did I pay? It's hard for me to say what's the most expensive because I never went to like their fine dining restaurants. Because I was more into like the local street fare.
Yeah.
I think I paid a lot for hot pot inside the malls, um, like $20, $30, but I didn't spend a lot of money there.
Oh, I see.
Sushi maybe. I remember going to a sushi place in Bangkok just because I don't know, I was getting tired of street food for a little bit, and I spent about $100 there. But that's
Was that
I
a
don't.
Japanese restaurant?
It was Japanese.
Oh wow. So okay, so that's a good question. Is there what type of races are mostly in Thailand? What do you see a lot of?
Um, I see a lot outside of Thai people. I see a lot of tourists. So I mean, it's pretty culturally diverse. Australians, English, American. I saw a few Americans, Indian. You pick. I saw them there. Bangkok's huge, and it's a huge night scene there too. So a lot of people go there for the night scene.
So I know that movie The Hangover, like everybody started talking about like the tranny Bangkok boys,
Oh yeah, the Lady Boys.
the
Yeah.
lady boys. Is that like a real thing?
Oh, that's a real thing, man. That's a very real thing. In fact, I saw more Lady Boys than I ever have in my life. I live in Houston.
Is that a is prostitution legal there or no?
I don't know the actual legality of it, but I know it's huge. People always talked about going to Pattaya, which is not too far from Bangkok, but it's pretty much an area where you can just buy prostitutes and drugs. Now
Wow.
drugs are pretty illegal there, but however, there are some areas where uh, it's easier to get than others.
Really?
But Pattaya is pretty well known. I mean, if you look it up online, you'll see it's big party town.
Wow. So a lot of college kids go out there probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I never made it out there because I was more of the. I went to like nicer beaches. And I liked Bangkok a lot, so I'd spend a few weeks there.
Would they just like approach you, like walk up to you and like hit on you, or?
Oh yeah, I got approached a couple times.
Oh wow. What about those guys I saw in a documentary? I don't know if it was Thailand or a different Asian country, but the tourist guides, they'll come up and like want to take you for like a day,
Yeah,
like show
yeah,
you
they'll
around.
yeah they do that. We did that last time when I went with Sion, my current girlfriend. She wanted to go see the floating market and stuff. So you just basically pay someone to show you around.
What's the floating market?
It's a market that's built on like some canals, and you rent out a boat and you just kind of go and stop vendor by vendor.
Oh shit, that sounds cool.
It's pretty cool, but it's a huge traffic. There's like so many people there. We barely moved in our boat, so it's hot as shit there. So I was sweating my balls off and just kind of like sitting in the water and not really moving.
Oh yeah, Thailand's kind of like the center of the equator, right? So they're kind of like a rainforest.
Oh, it's brutal. I'm talking like 100% humidity and 95 degrees.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so every time I go there and I'm in Bangkok and I'm riding the BTS, which is like a subway, or I'm sorry, it's like a train that's what do you call them? I'm sorry. When it, let's see, BTS.
What are they have regular trains or are they
Like
like bullet trains?
they call it like a bullet train, like a sky train that just takes you from different part of the city.
Oh wow.
And I'll go in there and I'm just sweating my balls off, and everyone else seems to be doing fine.
Do they have a lot of like police just like standing like patrolling and stuff, or is it like America where you just randomly see them?
There's more, but keep in mind it's a heavily dense populated city. So I saw a few, but I didn't see nothing alarming.
Yeah, so they just kind of keep the peace, make sure
Yeah,
nobody's stealing stuff.
right.
Because tourism's like one of their biggest incomes, right? So they want to.
It's huge, and then I think their biggest export is health. Uh,
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah, because it's you can get cheaper healthcare there, and you pay a lot less. I know a few people that got their dental work done there because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, so it's like Mexico. You guys
Yeah,
just cross the
but
border.
and you'll see a lot of people with braces there because their dental industry has come around recently.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's pretty cheap.
So I was looking at some pictures of Thailand before we were able to connect with the mic
Hmm.
difficulties,
Hmm.
and I was seeing like these crystal clear like oceans with these like rock islands and trees, like these
Oh yeah, that's
rainforest
real.
trees. That's all real.
That's all real.
Clean beaches.
For the most part, some areas not so clean, but they generally do a pretty good job. I mean, their beaches are pretty pristine, and there's barely any waves, and it's hard to find sea life until you go out in the middle of the ocean. Um,
Is that
but they're
because
super
they're
clean.
so heavily fished?
I don't think so. I think it's more so there's
Environment?
not much waves pushing them,
Uh,
but because when I went snorkeling a little farther out, that's where I could find like sea urchins and crabs and stuff. But it's just clean. The beaches are clean. Um, the whole area is beautiful. But there's a lot of different islands you can go to that all look a little bit different.
that's cool. Those little islands, they kind of remind me of Darkfall, like in Yasam, those
I know,
floating
right?
islands.
Uh,
They're pretty sweet looking.
yeah, they're really cool looking.
So are those beaches, are you allowed to swim at them? Are they pretty heavily touristed or
Yeah, some are way really heavily touristed, but some are not. I mean, I went to sort of I forgot how I had to get there. We had to go off of like a different path and kind of go through some light jungle to get there. And there was probably around 8 people at that beach when they had a little resort, so it was pretty deserted.
so what are the like fears of travel like going around and hiking around Thailand? Like is it a dangerous country or is it completely like safe?
I had no problem. I say that though, but I think one year they had a bombing there, and I was there for that inside Bangkok. But as far as like traveling around, I felt totally safe.
S-
But then again, I didn't go to the night scene because that's not really my thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure if I went and partied with some people and did a bunch of drugs, I probably wouldn't be as safe.
What's this bombing? Was it like I don't know.
Let's see. It was in 2015's Bangkok bombing. Took place at a shrine. Um, Killed 20 people and injured 125.
Was it terrorists or?
It was. Not sure who the guy was. I remember seeing it, but it happened when I was there. But I wasn't anywhere close to the bombing.
Shit.
But it did. I think it did affect tourism pretty bad for a little while. But
That's crazy that a terrorist would like attack them.
yeah, I'm not sure the reason behind it. I didn't really look into it, but it was unfortunate. I
Oh,
got in. I got interviewed on camera by someone saying if I would come back to Bangkok for the bombing, and I told them I would.
are you serious? That's
Yeah.
wow. I think I did hear about that before. You're right. I think they
hmm
were hurting from tourism after that for like a year. I
Yeah,
remember.
that's. I think they expanded their visa program to allow people to stay a little bit longer after that.
How long can you stay in that country?
Every time I got mine stamped, I was 6 month period. I think last time though it was 2 months or a month, which is plenty of time,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cost anything. You kind of just show up with your passport and they stamp you.
What about like the hotels and stuff or the lodgings that you stayed in?
Oh, some were extraordinarily nice. Some were not, but I ended up paying like $20 or $30 a night for those. The nice ones I ended up like $100, and I stayed right next to a food market in a really nice hotel. Pretty much treated like a king. Same
Wow.
goes for Cambodia. When I was there, I spent $100 a night, and I could the best service I've ever had in my life.
And these two countries, do they all speak English basically?
At the hotels, yes, mostly, but I'm lucky to where I had someone with me that could speak the language,
Oh, okay.
which helped considerably.
And your girlfriend, your current girlfriend, is
hmm
she what race is she? What ethnicity?
She's Cambodian.
Cambodian. Okay. So is that like why you went there for the first couple times? Is it with her or did you go there
Well,
without her before?
I went to Thailand without her before, but with my ex-girlfriend. But me and her went to Cambodia where she speaks the language just
Oh,
recently,
okay.
and we went to Thailand with her too.
Hmm, cool. Do your parents go with you and all
No, no,
that?
that's a long flight for them.
Heck yeah. How long is this flight?
24 hours,
Oh my
including the layover.
god, a day?
It's not bad though. I mean, well, I say that because I've done it so many times. But so here's what I did. There's a flight from Houston to Tokyo, which is about 13, 12 hours so, and that flight's not bad. And then you do like a 2 hour layover and eat the food in the Tokyo airport, which isn't bad. And then you hook it to Thailand, which is about another 6 hour flight.
Oh
So
my
it's not
god.
terrible. Once you leave and you go and you're already in Tokyo, you kind of don't care at that point.
Where are they like on the opposite of the world from us?
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Holy shit. Do you lose a day or gain a day when you go out that way?
Oh, I think I'd lose one.
You lose one?
Don't quote me. But we're 12-hour time difference.
Oh, okay. It's not too bad.
Well, the when you get there, you're tired for a few days until you adjust to the new time difference.
I heard there's something like in the ocean where the timeline is, like the two oceans meet and
hmm
like they cause like a rift. It's kind of like it's weird. Like you could literally visually see where like the oceans meet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I gotta look that up sometime. That's pretty cool. So do you like Thailand or Cambodia better?
I personally am partial to Thailand. I did love Cambodia though. It was super nice. When I went to Cambodia, I went to Phnom Penh, which is like the capital city. And that wasn't as good. I went to Siem Reap, which is the city outside of the ancient temple Angkor Wat, and
Oh wow.
that was a lot nicer experience for me, just because it was a little more low key. Um, the lodging was fantastic. I mean, the customer service was amazing at this place I went to.
There wasn't a lot of tourism over there by Angkor Wat.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, there's tourists everywhere, but it was a little bit easier to get around Siem Reap than Phnom Penh.
Oh, just it's just not as congested then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What are is there a lot of farmland in these two countries? Like do you like
Oh, big
drive
time,
by, see a lot of farmers?
big time.
That's cool.
I even visited a couple farming villages in Thailand. Um, got to eat their food too. In the farm areas, got to eat this type of food called Isan food, which is more of like Laos influence.
Oh, wow. So it's like a mixture?
Yeah, a mixture of Thai.
Wow.
And that was my favorite type of food. So you can think of it like country cooking for
Isn't
us.
isn't that pretty seasoned, the Laos food? I'm trying to remember.
They're both heavily seasoned.
Oh, they both are.
Uh-huh.
What about Cambodian? Is it like hot, more spicy?
No, it's actually less. It's a mixture of like Thai and Chinese food almost.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, very similar to Thai food.
So I'm interested in all those. Like, I'm going on my honeymoon to Cancun to see the pyramids
Hmm.
and Angkor Wat. Tell me more about that. That'd be fucking amazing to see.
Well, Angkor Wat, what's interesting about that was how advanced that area was before their time due to they built their own water canal system. And that's how they were able to thrive in that area because they had a bunch of water, which typically in that area there's not a lot of water,
Hmm.
so they had no access to water, and it was built kind of in the middle of the jungle. But they built their own water system, and I'm not sure how old it is. I mean, it's pretty old considering what they did.
Oh yeah, I know it's ancient.
It
It's
was,
it's kind of like
uh,
the Aztecs. They did their own water systems too, and then
mhm.
Rome did their own.
Yeah, see, it's the middle of the country with no access to water. When they built their water canal system, which allowed them to thrive and able to sustain them for a while. But I mean, the architecture is insane. What they were able to do with it, and the
It,
fact that it's still standing today is amazing. And I know they're actually working on to keep it because some of it is falling apart.
oh, that's sad.
Mm.
Is it was it made out of just like one giant like rock cliff mountain, or like is it all one piece, or
I,
was it brought
no,
in?
they use stone from the surrounding area. I'm not sure exactly how they were able to though. But like when we go tour the temples, we saw where they were taking the stone from to use it.
Oh, okay. So they had a quarry nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What kind of wildlife is in Thailand and Cambodia? Like, did they don't have like tigers and stuff like we do, right?
Uh, in Cambodia and Thailand, they used to have a lot of tigers. I'm not sure if they do anymore. I know they're kind of. But yeah, we saw a cobra in Thailand.
Oh, really?
A lot of monkeys. A lot of monkeys. Tourists love the monkeys, even though they're kind of dickheads.
Did they tell you guys not to feed the monkeys?
I mean, I know not to, but people didn't care. Cause if, and and I'd always have to watch the monkeys in the trees in the jungle because they'd fucking just shit right in front of you, and they were doing it on purpose.
Oh,
But yeah, they'd take a plate of food if you let them. They were a pain in the ass, man.
any smoking monkeys?
No, just monkeys trying to take your food, fruit.
That shit's funny.
Hmm.
How big are these monkeys usually?
They're pretty small. I don't know how
Size
much
of
they
a
would
cat
weigh.
or something?
No, a big cat, yeah.
Yeah. So like 20
Sometimes
pounds.
smaller, some like little guy.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, I know. I wanted to ask you, what in the street food that you're getting, is there a lot of like oh god, insects? Do they eat a lot of like bugs and stuff?
They had a bug cart when I was hanging out on an island called Koh Chang. I didn't see a lot of people eating it though. But
Oh.
yeah, they do eat bugs. I tried a cricket, I think, just out of respect for someone, wanting me to try it.
Was it a chocolate cricket or was it one of those
No, it's
roasted
just
ones?
normal. I don't think it was seasoned too heavily. It
Yeah.
was fine, just not my thing.
Yeah. I heard they're usually like bland or bitter.
Hmm. This wasn't either. It was just kind of crunchy.
Yeah. Dang. So are you gonna be going back to Thailand like every couple years or something for the rest of your life? Is that what you're gonna
Well,
do?
I mean, we went last year, and she wants to go back to Thailand again because we're going for her brother's wedding to Cambodia. So we'll be spending a few days there, which we're excited about because we just like that country. And then we're gonna head over to Bangkok, and probably just eat our faces off for a few days. And then we're going to an island called Phi Phi, Koh Phi Phi. which is another one of those beautiful islands. You can look it up. I mean, it's the images are stunning. Because she likes beaches a lot. So do I.
Oh, that would be amazing. My fiance doesn't like beaches.
Oh man,
I wish she did. I love beaches. There's
yeah,
something about putting your feet in the fucking ocean water.
yeah. But I'm super white, so I burn easily. I don't know why I like beaches. Yeah, I turn into a lobster.
Yes, that's my best friend.
Mm.
I get like a golden tan. I don't really burn too much. Well, I take that back. I do. Like the back of my calves and my back does cuz it's pretty white.
Yeah, and over that in that area, for some reason, I tan a lot quicker. I think it's just the closer to the equator.
I heard Australia is the worst cuz they have a oh god, what's that thing that covers our earth, atmosphere. The
Ozone?
atmosphere's the ozone is really like thin and above Australia, so like they have a high percentage of getting like skin cancers and shit
I
out
bet.
there.
I can
Yeah.
see why. Even in Cambodia, I got lit up so bad, so quick.
Dang.
But so we're gonna do that, and the main reason we go is for the food. I mean, because like when we stayed in the hotel in Bangkok, we literally could walk across the street, and there would be at least 30 food vendors, and every part of it was amazing. You know,
Wow.
I mean, we ordered food from like 4 different places. Like we had a whole grilled tilapia served with a little sauce and some steamed rice, and we had some blood clams, which is like little red clams, all cooked fresh, and like a mango smoothie, and
That sounds
all kinds of stuff.
amazing. Dude, what else are they selling at these markets? Like, are they like flea markets?
Oh yeah, flea markets are huge there. Shopping's huge there.
What kind of
What?
stuff are people buying though? Like clothes and purses
Yeah,
and
they buy
stuff?
clothes because things are a lot cheaper over there. You can spot a tourist when they have those call them like hippie pants. They look like pajamas, but they have like elephants and engravings on them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, yeah.
They sell a lot of that. They sell a lot of bags and just little knickknacks that people end up buying. A lot of jewelry, handmade jewelry, wood carvings. That's mostly the tourist stuff, but they do have some upscale shopping there that I thought was pretty cool too.
Have you ever been to the Philippines?
Not yet, but it looks amazing.
I had a client that he grew up in the Philippines. He's a Filipino.
Hmm.
He said that you never want to go during an election season because they have like gang warfare. The that people like actually running at for president, like they have their own hired militias, and they'll like do like street battles with like live gunfires and shit. Like he said, it gets crazy.
Well, I never heard about that, but I'll try not to go during election cycle.
And he
I had a buddy that moved to Manila from New York, opened up a few restaurants and stuff. He says he loves it there.
Yeah, I heard it's beautiful. He said the most beautiful part of the Philippines are some islands, and it's taken over by Muslims. And if you go over to those islands, they'll behead you.
Oh God.
Yeah, he said so. You don't want to go to the Muslim part of the Philippines either. He said everywhere else is beautiful and lovely, and everybody's nice. He said just the he said like you said you could go out, you see all the food stands. He said it's the same thing in the Philippines,
Oh
but they
yeah.
also have like a lot of just like guys selling guns too, handcrafted handguns. He said
Well, I know living there would be pretty cheap if you don't need to AC and stuff like that.
yeah.
Because I remember even staying in on the island in Thailand, I paid 300 a month for a little bungalow next to the beach, but it had AC, it had a flat screen TV, it had a kitchen.
What?
Yeah, and I rented a motorbike. I think it was like $30 for a month. It could have been more. I might be wrong on that, but I was able to just hop around, do my grocery shopping, hang out at the beach, go work out at the gyms. It's a good life, man. It was nice.
Yeah, that's what I told my fiance. Was like, are you sure you want to like spend all this money on a wedding and a honeymoon? Like we could just go buy one of those bungalows on the Panama.
Hmm.
Because the Panama is also pretty nice. It's like beach too,
Yeah.
but Hispanics, and you could buy one for like 20,000, 20 to 40,000, depending on the size, and it comes with all that, like you just mentioned, and you could live like a king there.
Yeah, and that was expensive for there. I mean, even in Bangkok, the rent's super cheap.
Yeah. Well, you buy the like I don't know how to explain it because you can't buy the land because you're not a citizen,
Right.
but you could purchase the house maybe or something. I don't know how that
I
works.
think in Thailand it was something along the lines of I needed to know someone Thai to go in with me to buy something,
Oh, okay.
but don't quote me on that.
I know in Mexico you could, as an American, you could buy something there, but it only lasts for 99 years.
No, well, no big deal.
Yeah, and then you got to give it back or sell it. But that's pretty crazy, dude. I what in Cambodia, um, how are those people different from the Thai people?
Hmm.
Are they nicer or are they louder, more humble?
I had a pretty good experience in both countries. No real problems. I think Thailand's a little bit more established as a country, so they have, um, like people, like let's say Phnom Penh. I didn't see a lot of office jobs, people going to work like that. Um, Thailand, I saw a lot.
So they're more
Uh,
westernized?
I'd say Thailand's a little more westernized.
Yeah. And how big of an influence is China on those countries?
Now huge.
Yeah.
China's all over in Cambodia. I guess they're building the Cambodia from the ground up, the infrastructure and stuff. I know they're helping rebuild Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
But
I
and when I went to like a beach town, it was all Chinese hotels and stuff like that.
China's moving into Venezuela too because Venezuela, the people are literally starving to death right now,
Yeah.
and their president is like a dictator, like a socialist dictator,
Hmm.
and he has no money, and he got rid of the U.S. dollar, and so now they're really hurting. So he's bringing in the Chinese money, and
Let's see how that
basically
works
they're
out.
yeah they're basically going to be like a lot of other countries where they're just a sub country of China,
Yeah.
which is weird.
China's influence is spreading.
Yeah, I mean, even when we had our depression, they bought a lot of land and stuff, a lot of
Hmm.
debt. It's crazy. I don't know. Do they have the Huawei? Do they have all those Chinese cell phones? Like, we don't have that in America, the Huawei.
I didn't really check out too much, but I did buy a little Asus phone there. It was relatively cheap, like $30. I couldn't complain about it either.
Oh wow.
But I'm sure they have Huawei, things like that there.
How long did you live there? And
A couple months at a time when I went.
oh, okay, I gotcha.
Sometimes 1 month. Last time was like a couple weeks. But you need to do 2 weeks at a time if you go, because the first week you're just kind of tired adjusting to the new time zone.
So how much money total, like airplane for there and back? Let's say like an average hotel, or if you get a bungalow or whatever, and then plus the food. Like how much money do you go with, or do you need to start with?
It just depends. I mean, we just paid for the flight round trip for 700
Oh
for one.
wow, that's
But
cheap.
so we got a steal. Usually it's around 1,200 or something like that, or you can use your points if you have miles. Um, so let's just give it average about 1,000 to get there and back. Um, you can get away. The thing about Thailand is you can backpack there if you want and stay at hostels. You can do it super cheap. But if you do it the way I do it, and a couple thousand outside of the flight, and you'll do pretty well.
Okay, so like 1 month paycheck.
Well, that's you'll be doing it right.
Yeah.
But it also depends on how long you stay.
Well, if I went with my fiance, I already know we're gonna be staying in the nicest hotels.
Well, you can spend a lot of money. The really nice hotels, you can, I mean, upwards of 200 to 1,000 a night.
Yeah.
But if you spend 100, you won't be sad. I remember spending 50 at a hotel and it was nice.
I think my fiance's limit, she don't like spending more than $500 per night at hotels. Which in
You'll be fine there, man.
yeah, cuz in San Francisco, like where we live, it's an hour away, but the traffic is god awful cuz the commute is horrible. So, if you're going to go to San Francisco for a day or two, it's best just to get a hotel, but it's like literally like 5 to $700 just for
Yeah,
average.
I think I just sent a couple of my stylists to a class in LA, and the hotel is around 280 a night.
Yeah, that's about right in LA. If it
Hmm.
was San Diego, it'd probably be like 360.
Jesus.
San Diego's even worse.
And we just sent a couple people to New York, and it was like 120 a night.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
downtown New York.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
I would expect it to be just as expensive as California.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the nicest digs, but it was good enough.
Well, that's like our other gamer, Pothead. He says living cost of living is actually pretty reasonable in New York.
When I went to New York, I spent a good amount of money, but I definitely um, wasn't held back.
My fiance keeps wanting me to go to New York with her. She's been a couple times, but I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go there. I'm not a city dude.
You probably wouldn't like it, but it's nice.
I'd go to probably like Maine and Rhode Island and stuff.
Yeah, I went to Providence. It was nice.
Yeah, I
I
heard it was
liked it.
pretty chill. I don't know. I like the idea of like what you're doing though. Like you go to Thailand, Cambodia, and then you kind of go to the outskirts. I like that. That's my
You,
type of thing.
yeah, you'd love it. I highly recommend anyone at least go at least once just to try it. It's definitely a different feel. Kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things, and definitely to food.
Well, what do they? There's always some kind of catch where they try to sell you something above price. What is it in Thailand that they try to get you in? Is it
Oh, they
jewelry?
get you, they get you on everything. So they'll charge me different than they would charge a local.
Oh
And
yeah.
in Cambodia, it was way worse. Like I remember paying for my first meal there was like $40 for this little tiny fish.
What?
Yeah,
That must have been in the city.
yeah, and then they use U.S. dollars, so it hurt when I paid them.
Oh
Because
god.
they only did it because I'm a tourist.
So
But
if you have your girlfriend with you, it'd probably be different.
yeah, it's different. Well, I'll send her in to go buy whatever we want, and I'll just stay back because she can speak the language, and we'll get
Yeah,
her.
you know what happens over here? Because, like I said, Stockton, we have all these hole in the walls with pretty good food. And if I go in alone, I get the Mexican deal because they could see I'm like half Mexican. And so I get the Mexican price. And then if I bring in a white girlfriend with me,
Mhm.
my price like doubles.
Oh god, it's terrible.
It is horrible. You're right. They
Yeah,
do have different prices.
but even with the price increase in Thailand, it was still cheap. Just not as cheap as it should have been.
Yeah. I don't know. How many kids do the Thai people and Cambodians usually have? Do they have large families or
Oh, big
pretty?
time, large families, especially in Cambodia.
And do they are they like other Asian cultures or they live together for a lot of like a kind of like a compound style, like a big house and
Yeah, it
they
just
all
depends.
share?
I mean, I knew a lot of Thai people that work away from home, so and their work provides their own, living quarters.
Yeah.
But yeah, they generally stay together. But that's only the people I met. I'm sure there's different.
Yeah, because I have a few Asian friends, and they usually do like family brand run businesses here in California, and they usually all live in a big house, and
Hmm.
they all share their income.
Yeah, like my current girlfriend, but they came here not too long ago to this country, so they end up sticking together. They bought a house in Houston, and she lived with them for a while until she moved in with me.
Oh, nice! I didn't know she moved in with you. Good for
Hmm.
you.
Hence the not gaming as much.
That definitely changes it. Like all of us guys, once you're living with the lady,
Oh yeah.
why are you always on the computer? Don't you want to spend time with me?
Well, she's gotten used to it. And plus, work's been pretty busy, so just gaming's kind of not happened lately.
Oh yeah, I feel you. Getting older.
Oh yeah.
You know, one of the things that I'm having a hard time with, and I'm just starting now trying to retry, is once we got out of high school, you kind of separate from a lot of your best friends,
Definitely.
and I'm trying to reconnect now, and that takes a lot of time, dude. It's
Yeah.
like dating your old friends again. It's like, hey, you got time? Want to go get a bite to eat? Want to go shooting? It's
Yeah,
really weird.
it's like I need to have time for that shit. Like whenever I want to hang out with my friends, it's like we gotta fucking pencil it in like 2 weeks beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, no, I can't. I got to work that day, or no, my fiance wants to do something that day.
Yeah, and I'm already doing like an hour of cardio and an hour of working out a day. It's like, man, my days are getting slim.
Dang. So you do 2 workouts a day?
Yeah, one in the morning and then one at night.
I think I need to start doing that again. That's when I lost all my weight. Was doing one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Just do cardio in the morning. It's a little brutal though.
That and eating a lot of protein.
Well, I see your food. I see your food, man. Like the fucking casserole you made. Dude.
Yeah, that's not very healthy.
Like parks, man.
I probably should eat more Asian foods like you, dude.
Yeah, Asian food works.
I don't know. I love food though. I
Me
think that's
too.
my addiction. I'm not a druggie. I'm not a drinker, smoker. I like the food.
Yep, me too. No.
I'm
I
not
get.
even a fast food person, honestly. I just like good food.
Yeah, I haven't eaten fast food in a long time.
Oh. Well, thanks, Sean. I know I took an hour of your life, but I really appreciate it. And now it makes me want to go to Thailand even more.
No, you can always ask me any more questions if you want, and I appreciate you having me on.
Heck yeah. I might bug you in a couple years if you're going. I'll go too with you.
Oh, hey, man.
Bring my fiance.
Maybe next year. We'll figure it out.
All right, thanks, Sean. I'll
All right,
catch you
Parks.
later. Have a
All right,
good one.
take care.